Hello, everybody. Sorry, I am late.
Hi, Darren. I can hear you.
Excellent. Great. Where do we go? Can you guys still hear me, or did I drop off? Looks
I
like
can
I
hear you.
Oh, okay. I just need to find the right window. Where's Echo gone? Oh, this is fun.
So Darren, it looks like this is the last interim before IETF.
Let's see, the 7th today. It's the last one. Well, I think I had one more scheduled, actually. Scheduled another one. Yeah, I think I had one more scheduled. Just give me a moment. I'm just
next week, 14th.
Right.
Oh,
next week, the 14th is an interim again.
Yeah.
14th.
Yeah. Now, we can decide if we want to keep that or not.
Yeah.
But it's scheduled
So
as of now.
it's going to be challenging both for Esco and myself to show up for that one because there's a thread meeting next week.
Okay. Okay. That conflicts. Okay. Then give me a moment here. I'm having trouble getting back to my window where I can actually control this meeting. But when I do, I'll pop up the note well. We will have a quick chat about what we are doing with the document overall, and the next IETF meeting. Eric, myself, and David had met yesterday, and well, I don't know where it is. And yeah, we want to do a little update on that. So, David, if you could pop up the note well, we got to do that part just for formality's sake and to make sure that we're all in alignment with IETF policies. And I'll keep trying to find where this page is shared. You still there, David?
David is not there anymore.
Oh, okay. All right. I might have to reconnect too. Yeah, give me a minute. I'm gonna have to reconnect. I'll be right back.
Sure. So TED and ESCO, as you are quite important for DNSSD and SNAC, I was just wondering whether you will be in Montreal.
So I will not. I was planning on attending remotely, so I'm planning on being at both sessions. But the problem is I have a meeting in Stockholm, and then on
no
one side
need
of
to
IETF
explain,
and one on
right?
the other. So yeah, it's just.
I'm not there to control why you are not coming.
Sure.
I'm just thinking whether you will be there. Yeah. And remote, you will be based in Europe then?
Yeah.
Okay. So it should be in the morning, else not at the 5 p.m. time, right? So
whatever. But I think the current schedule is fine. I already checked. But if something happens, I mean, we're used to late meetings. Unfortunately, late on the East Coast is not as bad as late on the West Coast.
Which is true as well. Which is true.
Yeah.
And you, Esco, will you be there?
Yeah, I will be in Montreal, yes.
Oh,
okay.
nice.
Okay, that's better. Thank you. And again, I just it's not about controlling and giving points, right? But
Sure.
can influence the agenda. Thank you.
But I want points.
Okay, we'll get this important step done here, and we'll be all set. Okay, share this. Yes, I do want to share my screen. This is not. No. Okay. Well, then we'll try. Try this. Now, can everybody see the window I'm sharing? Maybe?
I see black bar.
You see a black bar. Okay, that doesn't do us any good. I'm trying to share the note well. I'm going to remind us all that of the IETF note well. Everyone in this call from I see the participants have seen this many, many times. I can't share it at the moment, but everyone please seek it out and make sure that you are aware of the IETF note well. Okay.
And the note well is a reminder that starting from now, we are contributing to the IETF. So you give out your copyright. In my layman terms, we need to prevent harassment, and you need to declare any IPR from you or your employer or sponsor in case you know it. And there are other stuff that I forget right now, but like Darren said, the note well is mostly everywhere. You should find it. It should have been displayed here, but let's go.
Yeah, I can't display anything from my laptop right now without restarting again. So it is at ietf.org/about/note-well. All right. So, okay, the next order of business is there's a lot of changes in the document right now. It would be fantastic if we could, the authors could publish an updated version as soon as possible this week to show the working group the process besides the updates that get sent to the working group so that everyone can see the current change set. So regardless of what we end up accomplishing today, I'd like to ask on behalf of the chairs if this is possible for the authors to publish a version this week. So, Ted, Jonathan, what do you think?
I think Jonathan has an easier time of publishing things. So if Jonathan, is Jonathan here?
I'm here.
Yeah. He's here. Yeah. So I would, for me, I may be able to get legal review in time, but it would be challenging. Yeah. So I can try. Jonathan, I think, is not in the same boat. So maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm happy to publish whatever we think we have a good checkpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Cool.
Okay. Well, let's take that as an action then. Jonathan, thank you.
And thank you, Renee, because we need to show to the list that this working group is active. We know that we work on the GitHub, but it does not appear so much on the mailing list, which is right now the way the IETF works. So publishing it, even if we know it's not finished, of course, it's better. And even if you're working on PR and PR and PR, let's do it, basically. Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the next topic I want to bring up that we had discussed amongst chairs was the content for the upcoming IETF in Montreal. Of course, we've done the heavy lifting in these meetings, and we'll do more today. So really the Montreal meeting, as far as SNAC Simple is concerned, I think will be a pretty minimal sort of portion of that meeting, as in an update on the current document. And please jump in and contradict me if you'd like. Esco is raising his hand. Please unmute Esco,
Yeah.
Esco, and help yourself.
There was just to add, so I think I've at some point said that we could discuss basically the SNAC Simple fallback solution in a bit more detail. So that's basically not work on text editing, but just explaining with some slides and graphics. So what happens if you, for example, connect multiple AILs, which is kind of out of scope for SNAC Simple, but still we want our SNAC router to cope with that situation. And I think we discussed already a kind of solution direction. So it would be great to go over that too, so we can just explain. So this is what happens. And
Right.
just get confirmation from people like, yes, this works and that's what we want. So I can take that up if we have time for it. So
There's certainly time on the schedule.
Right.
For that to get in
So
there.
that
We have
sounds
not
pretty
received. Okay. I'll go back to the list again and double check, but we've not received any other content for the upcoming IETF meeting. I'll send another reminder out to the list today to ask for content. And then there will be, we will have some amount of determination of engagement on going further, beyond SNAC Simple. I'm hoping when we see the published draft, I'm hoping it will be quite obvious that it's ready for a working group last call. But we'll see once we get when we see the final text. So that would be a good topic to have at the upcoming meeting as well. And then I think the chairs and Eric would also like to see if we have any real substantive interest to go beyond SNAC Simple at that point, or if that should be the kind of end result of this working group. We produce SNAC Simple and that's it, or do we really have support to go beyond that? And is there interest in producing additional standards beyond SNAC Simple? So those are the topics that will line up for that in-person meeting.
Okay. So, sorry, go ahead.
I was simply to say thank you, Darren. It's really important to know what are the next step. Do we go beyond SNAC Simple? And I mean, do we have authors for doing this? Do we have reviewers, right? So that's really important.
Yep. So on that topic, there's work going on in DNSSD. Well, I shouldn't say it's going on in DNSSD. It hasn't been adopted, but there's a document that has some energy behind it from participants in Matter with respect to basically providing DNSSD service on infrastructure, which is a big piece of what we wanted to put in SNAC Complex. So that may be the next step, and whether that happens in the SNAC working group or the DNSSD working group remains to be seen. It hasn't actually been discussed yet. So that's one thing to say. The other thing I just wanted to mention that, so I'm, knee deep in reorganizing the state machines based on the discussions that we've had previously. I have not finished that work. And what that means practically is that if we do a document submission, when's the cutoff for document submission?
Have to put that up.
Oh, sorry. I'm assuming
go ahead.
I'm assuming it's like the end of next week, maybe?
22nd I have in mind. Let me check.
The 22nd. That's a Wednesday.
20th. Monday 20th.
Okay, yeah. So the reason I asked that question, I think it would be good to just do a submission now, like for Jonathan to do a submission as soon as he can. But I would like to get the state machine stuff finished, and it's going to need some serious review because it is actually, I mean, I think it makes it easier to understand and better, but it's a big change. So, so that's going to require some eyes on the document to make sure that everybody's happy with the change. And by the way, since Esco and I will both be at the thread group meeting next week.
Next week, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. You know, the good news is I'm going to be spending a lot of time on trains, so I may have some time to do reviews during that period. And I don't know if Esco. I think Esco is smarter than me and is flying, but maybe if you know. Between me and Esco, I think Jonathan is going to be swamped because he's on the board. But maybe between me and Esco, we might be able to do a second pass at it and do a second submission next week.
Great.
And the point being that, like, you know, we might get to that, we might not. If we don't, we'll get to it, you know, when the submissions open again. But yeah, there's going to be, we're going to need to you know, do a nice thorough read of the new state machines. And I can do a little bit of a preview of where that's at right now if you guys are interested in seeing it.
We'll let the participants speak.
Yeah, it sounds good to me to have a look at that. There's also a couple of pull requests that are pending now.
Yes.
That's maybe good to have if you want those in to the published version, that we can take a look at it also.
Yep. Okay, let me just put that up quickly. Obviously, we're not going to have time to review this. This is more just FYI.
Great.
Okay, welcome to video feedback. Okay, so basically what's going on is that I'm adding a new section, which is not really, so this previously we had like the AIL section and the Stub Network section for like maintaining prefixes. And the problem with that is that most of the machinery is actually the same, but it's not identical. And so the idea is to kind of pull that out and document the machinery in a way that is sort of general, and then make it specific to the individual thing. So I don't know that the right now this is section 7. I have a feeling that I might want to put this prior to section 5, and then have section 5, you know, .1, section 5.2 reference back to this section. And the basic idea here is, so there's, and I haven't, obviously this is not done yet, but sort of the core of this is there's a guy that sits there and advertises router advertisements. This is a state machine, single state machine that advertises, or that monitors router advertisements. It has some routine behavior. Basically, whenever we get a router advertisement, we do some things. And then it has states. So the first state being discovery. So this is sort of, you know, it's independent of what routers are on the link. This is just that when we first come up, we need to spend a certain amount of time doing router discovery before we make any decisions. And so that's this state. And there's just like, you know, I'm not going to go into the details here unless anybody really wants to, but basically there's the sort of startup state, or the discovery state, and then there's the monitoring state. And then that's basically all that guy does. So it's not doing any thinking about individual routers. It's just doing router discovery and listening for router advertisements. And then the next state machine is the router monitor state machine, which is a separate state machine, and there's one of those per router. You were going to say something?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying your screen disappeared.
Oh, did it? Weird. Okay, video feedback again.
Thanks.
Sure. Okay, here we go. Yeah. So so anyway, so that's the router advertisement monitor. Maybe that's not the right name for it, but that's basically what it does. So that's why I chose that name. The router monitor is individual to each router. So when we receive a router advertisement, we check to see if there's a router monitor monitoring that specific router. If there is, we deliver the router advertisement to it. If there's not, we create a new one. And this is true on either link, right? So on either on the AIL or on the Stub network. The router monitor maintains a bunch of information about the router, and it's basically just what's in an RA. It's a subset of what's in an RA. And in fact, there's some text here that basically says, you could just remember the RA and remember what time it arrived, and that's enough for most of this stuff. And then, you know, the sort of routine behavior, this is regardless of what state we're in. Whenever we get a new router advertisement, we set the reachable time. We update the router advertisement data, we clear any outstanding probes, we start a probe timer, and we evaluate for suitability. This is actually, these actually should belong in their individual states because suitability, like if we're in the suitable state, we need to check to see if we've got a suitable prefix, and if we don't, we leave the suitable state. And similarly, if we're in the not suitable state and we get a suitable prefix, then we go into the suitable state. So that's all pretty straightforward. And that's where I am right now. So it's not as far along as I would like to be, but hopefully that gives you an idea of where we are. Does anybody want to hear more about any of this individual stuff, or have comments on what I've done so far? Like is this a bad way to do things?
I have a general question, just as an implementer. I guess how much of this is kind of informational versus, like, this seems entirely informational, right? I can have a compliant implementation without implementing this state machine, but implementing some other one.
Right. Yeah, you're not required to implement the state machine like this. This is just explaining kind of how to do it, and then you kind of want to go do what you need to do. There is a piece of normative language here, but that's specific to if you do it this way. So yeah, you don't have to do it this way.
Yeah. So my overall question then to you, Ted, and then the rest of the working group is, if it's not normative, is it necessary?
Well, so right now, let me show you what we have now. So we have this, and guess what? There's a state machine for maintaining a suitable unlinked prefix on the infrastructure link.
Yeah.
And this state machine is very confused, and it's how the whole suitable prefix thing is currently identified. So basically, I would say we kind of do need this. We need something. And what we have now, I think, is sort of confusing and incorrect. And so I'm basically proposing to kind of take some of this text and merge it into the other state machines, and then, you know, sort of reorganize it so we wind up with the same stuff, but just more clear. And at that point, I think that this stuff does need to be there, not because you have to implement it this particular way, but basically this is how we're describing it. We want to describe it in a way that's sufficiently clear that somebody who's doing an implementation will know what to do.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Let's see. So, Esko, you said you had some pull requests ready. Do you want to go over those?
Yeah. I can maybe share the screen and show it. Let's see, request.
Yeah, approved.
Yeah, I can see it. So let's see. Make it a bit larger. So let's see. I don't see the screen share coming through yet for some reason. Maybe you
Speed of
see.
light delay.
This is a very long delay. Do you see some text now or not? I see no
No,
text yet.
I just see your background.
Oh, that's weird. What happened? Okay.
Multi-screen, usually when you see it, it's multi-screen, right? You are showing the wrong one.
No, this is okay. Oh, yeah, the wrong one. Hey, maybe that's a good catch. Yeah, I have my other screen open as well. So this one, it looks
Now we
exactly the same. Yeah, normally I have this screen closed, but sometimes it picks the microphone on the screen and then people can't hear me. So now we need to have all the screens open. Well, okay. Yeah, so this is a bit made a little bit larger. Maybe this is even better. Yeah, so we have these couple of ones open here. So the lowest one was for the state machine. So that's the old one that's still being worked on. And maybe go to this one, sync message names. So this was a rather large PR. So this was based on the review comment that we should have same names as in RFC 4861 and not invent new names. And we discussed it last time, and I promised to make an update of the PR based on that discussion. So just as a summary, the thing that got removed here is this definition of RA beacon. That was already last time. So we have now what is it? Periodic unsolicited multicast RA message. So we use that kind of terminology from 4861. And there it is. So instead of the beacon interval, I've now made this one here. So use that terminology min router at interval. So the parameter that's defined in 4861 with a time value there and an explanation. And there's also the max router advertisement interval here, also with the time there. And the min and the max will have an average of 3 minutes. Yeah, so that's the main change, I think, since last time. I don't think there was much other things changed. Maybe just have a look here. Yeah, also here the beacon interval was changed to the new parameter.
Yep.
And yeah, that's basically it.
Wait, so can you go back to the text? Well, actually, I could just look at this on my screen, I guess. But the text that you changed about the average router interval.
Okay, you said the average. Yeah, this is this is the average, the RA beacon interval. Yeah, it's 3 minutes, and now it's the min and the max here.
Yep, I think that works.
All right. So any other questions here?
From me.
So what should we do? Maybe after the meeting, just merge it then, if there's no further comments. So people have a little bit of time to.
You might as well merge it and get it into the next update.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work. Think that you, but okay.
There's no conflicts.
Yeah. Just get here. Okay, we got an approval. Also, so. All right. Okay, there's another one I added. So this was a discussion about the partitioning that we had. Also last time in interim we discussed that this partitioning thing for mesh networks is still useful to have, but it's quite dependent on the specific stub network technology. So that's why we will want to move it to an appendix and make all of it informative. So let's see. I'm just thinking if I did, yeah, I say I've now included Darren's sentence into the new text. So I think that got included. Maybe we should have a look at the text here just to see what changed. Yeah, here's the first reference to an appendix here on top. Just to have at least one forward reference to this content that we have here. Let me see which part was it basically included in. So it's the section about managing addressability on the stub network. Yeah, this is basically a topic that the appendix refers to. So describing the process of establishing a common OSNR prefix on such networks. So then specifically for the mesh case, how to get to a common OSNR prefix, that's discussed there in more detail. So this is adding some anchors that we can make references to these sections. And here is a bit of a rewording. So for the constraint about prefixes, I made it more specific, talking about the OSNR prefix so that we know which prefix it's about, just to make it very clear. So that was talking about, it's the text you already have. So it was talking about stub network technologies where you could have a single OSNR prefix only, or technologies where you could have multiple prefixes assigned to that stub network. Now this is the big part. So this entire section is removed here, then moved to the appendix. So about the partitioning events. So there pops up there. And this is also has some new text here. So basically referring to, for example, referring back to the usability goals that we have, and basically some things that a SNAC router implementation for a specific technology is supposed to do. So what we want is a kind of automatic behavior. So if you add a new SNAC router or turn one off, that the whole network doesn't break down, but it can still adapt to the new situation. So we kind of spell out these expectations here for the specific technology, and then explain a bit more detail here for mesh networks that can partition, how that basically those properties can be met. So this kind of recycles most of the text we had already about partitions, including the healing part here, for example. So it's quite a load of text. I don't think you will want to read it all now from the screen, but we can decide what to do with it. So include it now, or give people some more time to.
So I've given it a not incredibly thorough, but reasonably thorough read while you've been talking, and I feel like this is pretty good, and I think it would be fine to merge it now, and we'll do last call review comments on it. That's just my personal take on this.
Yeah, that sounds good. It can anyway be reviewed then once included in the draft. So
yep.
And this is supposed to be informative also. So if it screws up somewhere, it's not really that bad.
But it's still good to get it right.
Yeah, I know. So let's okay. See if there are any other opinions. Yeah, so we could include it if you want. No other.
I'm of the opinion that if it, if we get, if you think it's good, you're well off to commit it and see it in the diffs in the next document, and it'll get reviewed there.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so I can include it then. Okay, let's go back here. All right, so this is something also we discussed in the last interim. I think there was some confusion about the constant name. There was an issue about that. So it was talking about stub network reachable time, while the value got included in a route lifetime. So now it's basically changing the name of that constant to stub network route lifetime here. So it's still 30 minutes, and we'll basically say that this lifetime value gets included in an RIO that is sent by the SNAC router. And it's basically when it advertises on the infrastructure link. There's another thing added here. So this was also used in this way. Let me see the maximum route lifetime. Yeah.
Yep.
Just trying to see if these are two different things, I guess. Okay, so the route to the Stub network and the route to the AIL. Okay, yeah. So this works in both. It was used in both directions. Yeah, I just have replaced here, for example, the name here, and I left the TBD note here because it's kind of something that still needs to be looked at, I'm guessing. So for the rest, it's just basically renames it here and provides a bit more explanation. So is that okay to rename it like this?
Yep. For me.
For you, okay, yeah. Great.
Maybe
Maybe just one of the authors should now say something too.
Yeah. There was a TBD there, Esco. Is that still
That's
a
right.
TBD?
Yeah, I just did not change it. I don't know if it's still valid here. Deprecated prefixes, yeah. So it seems to be on another topic that I didn't want to touch here.
Got it.
I also don't know if that one is resolved already or not.
67. Take a look.
I don't know if we even talk about deprecated prefixes here, but
I don't see issue 67. So I'll find it.
could be one that's closed already.
Yeah, it is closed. And to not advertise PIO with 0 lifetime, but keep routing forwarding to the deprecated prefix. The 06 version text was updated.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if that completely resolves it.
Okay.
Maybe there's some things about if it's deprecated, then you might want to adapt the route lifetime, or I don't know. So here, for example, in the bottom case, it's basically will advertise the actual route lifetime with the maximum number here of 30 minutes. So that's this. So it's not always 30 minutes, but it's kind of maximized at 30 minutes here. And what it does here is basically, here it says it's always 30 minutes. So regardless of the actual route lifetime, it just always says, hey, this is 30 minutes.
Mhm.
So that's quite a difference there. And maybe the TBD was to consider also a maximum there. I'm not fully sure about that. So Ted, are you okay with this?
So, I mean, in principle, well, this is a route lifetime. Yeah. That seems okay.
Okay, then maybe I'll just include that one too. Okay, then we have one layer left. Yeah, so this was about prefix delegation, continuing the discussion we had, and also Ted mentioning how actually prefix delegation works, so that there are offers that a route can make, and then the client can decide if the offer is suitable or not before actually getting the delegation. So I also tried to include that in the new text. So basically it starts here with rename and a new explanation of constant here. So it's now called min PD prefix lifetime. So it's kind of the minimum expected lifetime for a prefix that is obtained with prefix delegation. So that's basically not the lifetime that a client would specifically request, but kind of the minimum that it still finds acceptable. So the text is also a bit rephrased for that.
Should we say suitable there?
Yeah. Suitable. Yeah, it now says minimum preferred lifetime.
Yeah, it says in order to be usable as an OSNR prefix.
Oh, okay, yeah, suitable is definitely possible here. Like if you want to have it like this one, right? Here.
Yeah.
So you can take it into account. Also mentions now OSNR prefix specifically. And it still mentions an example of why it needs to be this length. So the reboot scenario is in there. I added one thing. So I think we had, let me think, what did we have before reboot of the HTTP server? We had, no, I added one thing, or the SNAC router, because that can also have impact. So suppose you have a prefix lifetime of 30 seconds and you constantly keep renewing it, and you get 30 seconds and not more. Just as an extreme example, then if you reboot the SNAC router, then it could take longer than 30 seconds. So you kind of could lose your prefix. So that's why I added this one.
Yeah.
Here.
But there's a lot of factors there. Like if we're using Wi-Fi and anybody's doing beacon skipping, then all of that math that is discussed in Fernando's draft comes into effect. And so that's part of the reason why we want the time to be reasonably long.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Not
now,
sure if you have to mention that, but
yeah, no, I don't think you have to mention that, but that's why it's not like, 10 minutes or something.
yeah. Okay, that's clear. Just to give a bit more, a bit of more context. Okay, so here's basically a small correction here about the suitable prefix is specifically the one on the AIL. So I added that one here. It's not just about any prefix, but basically the prefix advertised on the AIL. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I'm actually considering changing in the state machines is just making suitable applicable on both networks, because in principle, we're probably going to be advertising a suitable prefix on the SNAC network as well. And so we can just talk about what a suitable prefix looks like, and we don't have to say that it's specific to the AIL.
Okay. Yeah, that could be an idea. So then I think that could be applied in the update in that case.
Yep.
So in this case, what I'm working with here is still a document where the suitable is for the AIL. So okay, and I think this is the final real change here. Let's see what it says. So this part is added. What is removed is basically that the request for the particular lease interval. Yeah, I looked quite a bit in the specifications, and yeah, the way I read the latest PD specification is that basically the client puts the value, kind of default values of zeros in these fields, and the server is actually required with a capital must to ignore these fields. So I don't know if the old server implementations do this, or maybe older ones do look at it, but the newer specification seems quite clear on that. So it's the client is not really asking anything; it just gets offers basically from the server.
That makes it simpler.
Yeah, so I took that interpretation here, but it does need to check, of course. So it's basically checks in the advertised message, which contains the offer, that the preferred lifetime is at least this minimum, suitable PD prefix time, and then it checks that prior to requesting, so that you don't request anything if it's not good.
Yep.
And if no one can offer it, then basically, there it is, suitable actually. It treats all the potential prefixes as unsuitable and then creates a ULA. Yeah, just to be clear on that part.
Yeah, I think that fixes the issue we talked about.
Yeah, so that's it basically. Then can maybe say commit this one, and it will get included. If it's okay, then you can also merge this one. Any opinions or?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it's good.
Okay. Let's not do it now. This one has conflict, so
Okay.
do it after the meeting. But we'll this will resolve all the PRs we had. Just as a kind of advertisements, we have issues, some of which are still up for discussion. I labeled just a few of these with discuss. So this is something we could also look at here. There's some kind of open issue for the working group to have a discussion on. There might be others as well, but I did not look at others.
Yeah.
So if people feel like looking at this, we can open some of these issues, or these two at least.
We have time. Let's look at them.
Yeah, I think we have time, right?
Yeah,
we do.
So this was based on a review comment also from Fernando So we have basically per stub
So
router.
sorry.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm going to have to flip over to another meeting in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'll try to be back promptly, but I'll still be present. I don't think I need to take any action, but I won't leave, and that way the room will stay open. Okay.
Okay, so you will be here, but not responding.
Not responding in about 10 minutes for hopefully no more
Okay.
than 30 minutes. Okay.
And the same for me, basically,
Okay.
but for more than 30 minutes.
And the same for Jonathan, I read here.
Okay.
Or similar. Yeah, so yeah, let's see how long we need for that. So if we want to keep discussing, thanks for the heads up. So this was about the comment about the stub router generating the ULA site prefix, and then Fernando was pointing to a new RFC here, and we discussed this before. So there was this RFC 9416, and I did send a mail to Fernando replying back oh, we think it's possibly not applicable. So I did not hear back on that. So I'm not sure if he has seen it or anything, but and then I made another comment here. I just looked again at these documents, and what I noted is that this RFC has a very wide definition of transient. That's what I say here. So basically, this RFC has such a wide definition that the ULA prefix that basically is generated once and then only regenerated in certain cases, like a change of network, is also considered transient. So even though it could be stable for years, it still falls under the definition of transient. So a specific kind of transient that's defined there. So it's the RFC at least has this in scope. So you could say like, hey, maybe all these requirements from the RFC for transient number generation would apply. On the other hand, another thought is like, okay, we use simply the ULA mechanism to generate the prefix, and that ULA mechanism is something existing and it's not impacted by that newer RFC because it's an older mechanism. So we can just say, hey, we use the existing ULA mechanism, which was not updated to comply to this newer RFC. So we don't care about this newer RFC. That could be one way to look at it.
Yeah. So I think my take on this, and you may or may not agree with this, is that we're referencing the ULA RFC, which specifies how to generate a ULA prefix.
Right.
And what RFC 9416 is saying is if somebody were to update the ULA prefix document, they ought to follow RFC 9416.
Yes.
It's not our job to update the ULA prefix document. And
I think
so,
so, yeah.
So it doesn't really make sense for us to try to do the work that's described in RFC 9416 because it's just kind of out of scope for us.
Right. Yeah, I had the same idea. So as long as we basically follow the ULA RFC, then we're good. If we don't update that method, basically, then it should be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, in principle, I don't really disagree with, the sentiment here. It's just that it's really a substantial amount of work that we didn't agree to do.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's not really in our scope. Yeah, we don't need to apply.
I'm sure Eric will weigh in if he disagrees.
If he's not already in the meeting.
Yes. Well,
maybe not.
but ultimately, I mean, the IESG may look at that and say, well, you guys should update it to RFC 9416, and then we have to do it. But until that happens, I think it's okay for us to not.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just add that comment here. And yeah, that was also my impression. Like if we do it that way, then we don't need to really bother then. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's good. Okay. And then there was this other issue. So this was about basically NAT64 prefixes, which you also have, and the priority between them, and why deprecate a prefix is if another appears, because you could have multiple. So I did add some comments to that I wanted to highlight. So kind of showing it on screen now. So I think for the stub network technologies, we can actually have 3 cases that can be different per technology. So we do have technologies where the stub network cannot advertise a NAT64 prefix with some priority value. And one good example of that is the pref64 option, which does not have that possibility to put a priority in. And the other one was number 2, if the stub network can advertise a priority, and the thread mesh network is an example of that. And there's also the case here, number 3, if the stub network can only advertise one NAT64 prefix at a time. So it's not thread actually, because thread can have multiple, but it could be a future case. Maybe there's some IoT network that is very limited and only has one, or maybe 0, but okay, then we don't have this problem. And I'm now seeing that for case 1 and 3 specifically, the SNAC router actually has to do something. So what it has to do is basically withdraw or deprecate its own generated NAT64 prefix if it sees, hey, there's something configured in the infrastructure network, so by the administrator. And in case 2, where you have priority preference values, you can have multiple in your stub network, it may just keep advertising the generated prefix because it would be at a lower priority, and then there would be another one advertised at a higher priority. Still, in that case, it could still withdraw or deprecate its own prefix if the goal is to minimize the size of the network configuration data.
So I guess I'm thinking about like why we care about this. And I think the answer to that question is that we care about it because if we deprecate or remove a NAT64 prefix that's being used for a connection, it's possible that that connection will be broken the next time a packet gets sent. And we don't want that if we can avoid it. So if it weren't for that, I'd say this is kind of unnecessary. But I think you make a good case here for I think you've defined a pretty clear way of addressing this question, and I think that if we were to make this change, it would be an improvement to the document. So I would be in favor of making the change that you're proposing here.
Yeah, so the change itself is not there yet. I can try to make a PR for this, but I just wanted to check if that's the right direction.
Yeah,
so
I think this makes sense.
Yeah, it's not specific to a stub network technology, but depending on what it can support, we can basically define the rules, and I think that can be normative then in this case, so like the must here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the idea, at least, that we have the normative part here without being tied to a specific technology.
Yep.
And that should, I think, address the original review question, which is way back up here. And I think this was about the similar concern about the stability. So like if you just keep deprecating everything, then makes no sense if you have a preference, if that's possible. Okay, good. then I can continue with that. So I think we had some issues opened also recently. I'm not sure if we went over those yet. I don't have any more that are marked discuss here. I think this was already discussed. So Ted, I think you opened one here. Did we discuss that in an interim or just the CO? I assigned
This
you here.
was added during the interim.
Yeah, that's right. We talked
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, so we did talk about that one. Yeah. So that gets taken up as part of the state machine.
Yep.
Okay, then yeah, I don't have any kind of issues to be raised here. I think.
Okay.
That,
I mean,
the whole batch we did. So.
Yeah. I think the last big outstanding piece of work, which is unfortunately quite big, is the state machine update that I've been working on.
Right.
So I don't really have more to say about that right now. So maybe unless somebody has something else they want to talk about, we may be done for now. I am assuming Darren is not available to actually formally close the meeting because of his other meeting. So, yeah, we've lost our AD. So,
So in the meeting, yeah. Maybe just want to check. I saw also Manny was on the call and asking for some introduction information. So maybe if you're still looking for something specific, you can maybe tell us, and then can see if there's a way that we can, or something that we can point you to.
yeah. So, I mean, obviously the first question is, Manny, have you read the document?
Okay.
Yeah.
Flying by
Okay.
chat. Thanks.
So, I mean, my advice would be, look at the IETF.org website, which I presumably you've already been to since you got here. And that talks, there's a participate link at the top, which has information about getting started in the IETF and all that stuff, including the note well. There's a link to the note well there. And then this document, I don't know if you've been able to read it, but if not, let me get you a link. Okay, so I'm going to just copy a link into the chat. Yeah, and then, so that's that. And then,
Yep.
here's the
get started link as well.
Yeah. I mean, the whole participate page is probably worth looking at. So yeah, that's all I got. All right. Well, in the absence of Darren being available to tell us what to do, I think we probably just have to quietly slink off with our tails between our legs.
Okay.
And,
something like that.
Yeah.
Officially close the meeting. I don't think we keep any minutes actually of that, or do we? I'm not sure.
Presumably there's a recording. Yeah, it's been recorded. So.
Right. Okay.
Yep. All right.
Okay, then thanks everyone for participating.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Monty.
Yeah. Okay. See you some next time.
Yep.
Bye.